I want to take a moment and give a sample of how the 5 animals can be a useful approach in surveying some of the different style of movement and energy that's possible with the nunchaku. We'll begin with dragon. Dragon primarily is going to make use of the rope, though it can make use of the nunchuck also as a club to adhere and blend and continue my opponent's momentum. So you come at me with an attack, and let's say I blend with it. This is actually one of our established techniques that we demonstrate on the DVD. But by blending and continuing his momentum, I'm able to utilize the qualities of dragon. Come at me at a different angle. I'm doing the same thing with the roundhouse. Again, gaining control of the wrist, blending with his momentum, and using it to my advantage. The nunchaku basically becomes a lever enhancer that allows me to take advantage of that momentum. Go ahead and something different. Now here, it appears that I simply am going against his momentum, but let me explain something about what's happening. As his hand lifts, there's that moment where he's coming up, and his center of gravity is back this way. I'm actually capitalizing on that portion as I close in and move in. The other option would be, come at me again, I blend with the momentum as it was coming at me, and then I use that to create a check and a trap. Now let's move from the blending energies of the dragon into the trapping, vicing, and controlling aspect of the snake. From here, once I'm in contact, here I'm trapping just through pressure, okay? But I could wedge in, for example, using from my fulcrum point of the cord pressing down, and I just wedged into the inside of the knee to create the takedown. Locking the wrist allows me to submit and create a control. In this case, escort him out of the dojo. And again, lock and control, twist and submit, and disarm. Excuse me, club's over here. The snake can also make use of control points other than the arm. Now, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the tiger. The tiger, primarily, because when is going to use the nunchaku as a club. When I swing the chuck, although it has a lot of power, it's not a tiger-type power, because the fixed axis disconnects this end from this end. It has a lot of velocity, but it doesn't have a lot of mass. So to align it to your structure, you have to use it as a club, and in some cases, from a double-ended grip, you could use it almost like you could a short staff. So, for example, you attack, I block, and I drive in. Would be a tiger approach. Or tiger approach. I just smash and I hit through the structure as a whole. Again. Intercept, break the rib, drive in underneath, tiger approach, where it can fall through the thrust. Now, let's talk about the leopard. Obviously, the flailing aspect allows me to move from a variety of different angles to where he doesn't know where I'm coming from. So we just want to keep this guy guessing. We can move up and down, left and right, high, low. It's very just... Its advantage there is the great speed and agility of the nunchaku keeps our opponent guessing. We could, of course, use the leopard from other grips, but it takes advantage of the flailing so much better, it'd be kind of pointless. Now, finally, the crane. There is that unfurling aspect of the nunchaku, which fits well with crane style. The main difference is with crane, we tend to use less the grip where we're holding closer to the cord, where we have more agility, and instead we choose to hold at the end of the weapon to elongate maximum distance and reach. So for example, my opponent were to attack me, I move off and I strike his leg, I'm using that maximum distance and reach with the crane. Or I make my initial block, but then as I retreat and move away, I'm using again the distance of my weapon. In tight, I can actually use this open-ended triangle between my forearm and the shaft of my weapon to be the crane beak of the crane. So all 5 of these animals, our dragon, snake, tiger, leopard, and crane, can help inspire and give us ideas on how to make use of the energy and the physical formations of our nunchaku.